Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. From the Channel 9 studio, this is Sports Chat with Mr. 33. I am he, Mr. 33. Realist, what's going on with you? But y'all know what we do every Monday. We go ahead and recap what happened on Monday Night Raw. And this Monday Night Raw, I, I, let's just go through it because y'all ain't gonna believe what I'm about to tell y'all. If y'all didn't see it, if you saw it, you already know what I'm gonna say. All right, so we start off the show. They was talking, about how they were going to do a tribute to AJ Styles. Your boy Gunther comes out. Gunther comes out. He's like, "Yo, this is terrible. Yeah, this is disgraceful. Y'all sitting there celebrating this man. I made him quit, and this, that, and the third." And so, Adam Pearce comes out like, "Listen, man, we knew you were going to do this nonsense, so we gotta get you up out of here real quick." So, he gets security down there to escort Gunther out the building. But before that even happens, you got Dragon Lee. He comes out of nowhere and attacks Gunther. Every time he see Gunther is on site because he made AJ retire. And for those of you that don't know, Dragon Lee was the former tag team champion with AJ Styles not too long, but maybe a couple months ago. Um, and so now that AJ is doing this retirement situation, every time we see Gunther's on site. But and then it was just crazy because every time we see him, it's something else. But you know, so after they beat him up, we see Jay get ready to come out for his match in the elimination chamber. So the final elimination chamber qualifier match was Jay Uso, the original American Grande Americano, and Bronson Reed. Um, this this was sad. But so we get into the match. Um, Bronson Reed is doing what he do. Um, he trying to eliminate everybody, but he got the tables turned on him. Jay and Grande Americano. They start to fight each other. Then Grande Americano suplexes Bronson Reed. Um, and then after that happens, Jay gets a quick pin on Grande Americano. He stops it at two. Bronson Reed stops the count at two, and then all of a sudden Bronson Reed he's gone. He disappeared. Come to find out that he's injured. While he's injured, they're wrestling the match. Jay hits uh Jay hits Grande Americano with the he spares him, hits him with the Uso splash, gets the three count. So Jay Uso defeats Grande Americano and Bronson Reed. But what I didn't tell you was that in that match, Bronson Reed suffers an injury. He's gonna be out for a while. It was a what do you call that? The forearm, the muscle in the arm, tricep. Is that what it's called? The tricep. So yeah, that's what it was. And then he's going to be out for a few months. So what is now the vision is no longer the vision, right? Because Steph started the group, he got curb stomped, he got speared out. He's out with an injury. Braun Breaker, he leaves with an injury. Tonight we got Bronson Reed leaving with an injury. Now this wasn't about no masked man or anybody coming through with this situation of who did it and how did it happen. This was an actual wrestling match, and in the match, Bronson Reed tore his bicep or his tricep. He tore something in his arm. He's going to be out for a few months. So we hope that Bronson Reed gets a speedy recovery. Big win for Jey Uso. He finishes out the Elimination Chamber. We'll go into that in a few minutes as well. But big win for them. But we're gonna see some great story writing soon, but we'll get into all that later. Um, yeah, he tore his bicep. So then we get to the promo where Liv Morgan is going to make her announcement of who she's choosing, and Dom calls out the women's champ Stephanie Barker. Uh, Liv Morgan apologizes to her. Yeah, man, it's everybody. Braun Breaker's out, Bronson Reed is out, Seth Rollins out. So it's just crazy. So uh, Liv tells Stephanie Barker, I heard what you said, and it hurt me bad. Um, you know, so what you said last week, made me think about it. I don't understand your suffering, your hardship, and all that. So now she makes the decision. She punches Stephanie in the face with the microphone. She punches Stephanie in the face with the microphone, and then all of a sudden we know who she picked. So it's safe for us to say that Stephanie Valkyrie will be facing Liv Morgan at Mania after she hits her with an Oblivion. She punished her. She smacked her in the face with the mic and then puts her in Oblivion. So we gonna just say that that's who Stephanie's picking. Oh my God! The next match was Maxine Dupree versus Natty. Oh my! This match was crazy. Natty just went after her, took her out to the floor. She sends Maxine to the post. Maxine hits her face on the post. Yes, she is. So Maxine hits her face on the post and she gets knocked out. So the ref stopped the fight because Maxine got injured in the fight. I mean, injured by hitting her face, getting knocked out by the ring post. So Natty actually wins the match, but I don't know. I ain't never seen no segment like this. It's like a 2 second segment. Then we get a yeah, man. She threw into the ring post and knocked out. So that's what happened with her. So that match was ruled a win for Natty, even though there was no pin, no count out, no nothing. Okay, Brock Lesnar comes out. Now we know Paul Heyman's with him because the vision is lacking vision. They blind. They got two eyes out, right? So Brock is telling Paul is telling everybody, he's doing an open challenge for Mania. Nobody got the balls to come out there and see him. Ever since y'all know Braun, excuse me, Brock been beating people up since he broke the Undertaker record, and he stopped the streak and all of this. Nobody got the balls to come out and fight him. Yeah, and then the beauty part about it, right? After he said what he said, he just left the ring, so nobody really came out to say "I got you" or whatever the case may be, and which is kind of cool with me because you don't want to take from the chamber match, right? You don't want to take away from what's happening. You don't want to take away uh, the build up to Mania, and this is part of the build up for him because who are they going to face? The obvious names is going to come up: Oba, Royce Keys. I even seen Omos tonight. So, but he ain't fighting the Omos again. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. But those are the two the obvious names that's gonna come up because we know everybody else is fighting for the titles. So, and then the winner of the Elimination Chamber is gonna fight for the title. They're gonna fight Drew McIntyre or whoever the SmackDown champion is gonna be by Mania. So we already know how that's gonna go down. So so he drops the mic, he leaves. But it's good to see Brock. My 33 brother, what up though? Um, so after that open WrestleMania challenge, that was really it. It was then in the back, Javon is talking to Pierce and Offset. Offset comes through. Uh, so Javon's chilling with Offset, not Pierce. He's chilling with Offset. Um, Kofi like, yo, we've been trying to get you down here for a minute, man. What's happening? So Offset like, yo, you know what they say, New Day suck. I don't rock with no sucky people. So, they start talking smack and stuff like that, and they're like, yo, we could just take this out to the ring, and that's gonna be a match later. I mean now, right? So uh Kofi Kingston starts the match off with the poke in the eyes, slow down the momentum. Yo, it was funny because he gets into the match, right? So after Kofi and them goes through the situation, yo, listen, man, this Javon Evans, I expected a better match to be quite honest with you, but it was enough. But Kofi goes outside the ring, and you got Offset over there. Grayson Waller gets involved with the match. I mean, Javon goes outside the ring. Grayson Waller gets involved with the match. So Offset goes to push him to the floor, and Xavier Woods. And then as soon as Kofi gets back in, he gets hit with the OG cutter from the top rope. That move is spectacular. That boy is something else. He gets the 3 count. So Javon defeats Kofi. Like I said, me personally, I was looking for a better match, but we ain't see Kofi fighting in a while. But then, yeah, that's the funny part. That's why I was thinking, like, we're gonna see some. We're gonna see a lot of what the hell is this? What's the Paradise? What's the Shades of Paradise? Whatever the hell is the Kofi last movie? I thought we were gonna see something like that, but this was more about getting Offset a little bit involved, get a little bit shine, and Javon heading towards the chamber with a win. So it was a big win for Javon Evans. Offset got a little bit of action. Xavier Woods is playing hurt, so he couldn't do too much. I was waiting for Woods, like, try to throw him to the post or something. He ain't do nothing. So I like, wow, this is crazy. So Javon gets the win, uh, heading towards Saturday night. Now I can't believe it's Saturday already. The chamber match is Saturday. Then we got Punk. He does his little promo. He's like, before we, get into this celebration, I just want to talk about some things. Finn Balor, he ain't the what if stories. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The agility of Javon, man, it's like Willis just said. It's like we remember Kofi doing some old crazy, not the OG cutter, but Kofi be taking off and landing on people, and then by the time Kofi almost broke his neck trying to do the over the top jump out the ring to the ramp type situation. That's like Javon Evans. That's like all the luchadors before him. That's like the Pentas and the Rey Mysterios and all of those guys. And I'm just very interested to see what happens Saturday in this thing, because if he do some OG cutter off the top of the cage, man, somebody going home. I'm just saying. But yeah, So Punk was over there teasing everybody, doing what ifs. Yeah, that boy is bouncy. That boy got some. Well, 20. Y'all know the routine, man. 21, you get the upsy. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy. But the Punk promo was like real trash. He was just talking about whatever. He said Roman's gonna be in Indianapolis after the chamber match. He trying to say he ducking him or whatever. But I'm like, he trying to give you grace so that way you can focus on your match. Don't be worried about me. I ain't that dude. You focus on your match with Finn Balor. Mess around, Finn Balor might win Saturday. I ain't picking nothing yet. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? It's so that was the segment with Punk. Then we had the women's elimination chamber between Io, Kyrie, Raquel. Uh, Io and Kyrie, they started off thinking they were gonna do something to Raquel. Raquel doing fall-away slams with both of them in their arms. Uh, Kyrie did get a little bit of momentum. She started flying around, off the ropes, just the elbows, and Io doing the uppercut swing and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, uh, Raquel she caught Kyrie and she just put her in a Tahana bomb, got the 3 count, and that was the end of that match. So it's Raquel going to for the final spot. Uh, so finally we get to the end of the show. He's not the why because he's not the best in the world. Let's just stop that. He was only the best in the world when nobody was there, and that's why he was where he was. But so AJ comes out, you know, he comes out with his celebration. He comes out with the momentum, possibly. AJ said, he pretty much he thanked everybody. He called out a couple people, Samoa Joe, Frankie Kazarian. He called out Gallows and Anderson. He said he didn't like the way. Damn, y'all ready to fight like that? Damn. um, um, yeah. So he was thanking everybody. But he said, he wanted to be a dad, and and touching on real life situation that's understandable when you on them streets 25 years straight, and you only you just getting to 50 and your kids is growing and you want to see those type of things. Hey, you want to leave on your own terms. Um, so he's like, I'm putting the gloves here because I didn't put the gloves at the Rumble. I wanted to put it here because this is home for me. So I'm putting this here. So he puts the glove down. Everybody comes out. Undertaker comes out. Well, yeah, Undertaker comes out and says, "Listen, man, we still got some. You gotta come see me." He's like, what? And I was like, I said to myself, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, don't tell me this nigga trying to throw a match. He's supposed to be retiring. But he's like, nah, you the latest Hall of Famer that's going to be inducted into 2026 Hall of Fame. So congratulations to AJ. He had his wife, his kids there. One of the kids was homesick. So I'm saying he felt like he missing all of that. So he want to go through and see that type of situation. Spend time with the family, your own term. You get to move around with him, play catch or whatever the situation is with his kids. You know what I'm saying? So listen, those of us that are dads, those of us that are parents in general, we understand that we want to see certain things, but you got to make ends meet. So he was doing his job. He didn't get to see, like he said, I was watching my kids grow up through FaceTime. He like, nah, man, that's kind of weird for him. So he like, nah, I'd rather do this in my term, my way, my form. So I'm just going to hang it up here. You know, I don't think he didn't stop the speculations about him going to TNA and wrestling. He just like, yo, I appreciate everything. Without the fans, this wouldn't be possible. Like he named everybody from New Japan, TNA. So he was like he gave all the props in the world. And like I said, being a being a dad, being a parent, you understand that you don't get to see the first steps. It may not be as monumental to a man, but you don't see the kids going out to play ball. You don't go to see because he's traveling the world. If he ain't in Japan, he's traveling 300 days out of the year. So he's not seeing everything. When you get to WWE 10 years ago, it's different. That's when they was, like I said, they was traveling 300 days out of the year. Now it's a little bit less. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. So you got to watch him with the Bullet Club, the Young Club. You see him with Ric Flair. Ric Flair, and Jay Lethal. Every time I see that clip, I be crying. Him and Ric Flair. You know what I'm saying? But that's how long AJ's been in this profession. And now when you really sit back and look at it, you got Edge, you got Christian, you got the Hardys, and then you got Brock. That's just and Rey Mysterio. That's just those 6 people from 25 years ago on the men's side. You see Lita and Trish come back every once in a while. Natalia still, popping through every once, you know what I mean? For the females. But just think about how much you've been watching wrestling. For those of you that've been watching wrestling just for this millennium, just the 26 years that the 2000s has been here. You can remember yourself seeing an AJ Styles. You can remember yourself seeing John Cena. You can remember yourself seeing a Goldberg. Now 3 of them are gone. See what I'm saying? Now Brock is here. He's doing open challenges. That's like the last link to yesterday, so to speak. You see what I mean? And unlike the NBA, like you see LeBron, he's still playing great basketball, right? He's the exception to the rule. But some of these guys be holding on too long. They're holding on for like dear life because they don't know what to do with themselves. Like right now, I'm looking at Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, he's been there almost 17 years. This is 2000. He came up 2008, 2009. It's 2026. You're playing on the Kings. You did everything possible. You're not winning a championship. So what is the point of you going on? You ain't catching no records. You're not breaking no records. You're not doing anything like that. I'm not saying that he's insignificant. I'm just saying he's wasting his talents on a team that's not going to go anywhere. But in professional wrestling, the WWE, TNA, uh, uh, I almost say ECW, AEW, it's an individual thing. You want to leave at the best of your abilities. You don't want to keep like the same way Bronson Reed going out now with this injury to his bicep. He's out for months. AJ's like, yo, I'm straight. I'm straight. I'm just gonna leave the way I'm gonna leave when I can. And look, look, that's another one. CP3. He just went out like you wasted your time. You got cut, you got waived, now you want to retire. Now the last thing a person gonna, the real one's gonna remember your play. But the Johnny come lately, they just gonna say, damn, CP3 got cut. He got cut by the Clippers, traded to the Raptors, and got waived again. So he got waived twice in 1 year. They're gonna say he tried to hold on too long. And that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. You gotta know when to leave. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. And so, you know, you think about AJ Styles, you think about John Cena, they both saying the same thing. I'm leaving because I can leave. I can leave on my own faction, my own faculty. Cena's still doing movies and things like that. So it's not like he couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to see the Andre the Giant situation where Andre the Giant can't walk and do all this other stuff he's battled and bruised. Look at some of those old timers. Look at the Arn Andersons. Look at the Telly Blanchers. They could barely move around. You see Jake the Snake Roberts. He walking around. He walking around with the oxygen tank on. They don't look healthy. They don't look well. Like Ric Flair, he looks like the healthiest, even though we know what he looks like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you want to retire that, and that's what AJ's saying. You want to retire on your own term, but you can't let Father Time keep knocking on you until he tells you to. You want to leave on your own faculties. Like, yo, if I want to make a special appearance, I can. Like Stone Cold. Stone Cold can't even do stunners. He couldn't been do stunners, but now he can barely do a stunner right now. If he was to come back right now, he couldn't do a stunner. Why? Because all of the damage and the bumps that they take. This is why we constantly talk about how people think this is not real. Them bumps and bruises are. Listen, tell Bronson Reed that this ain't real. Yeah, Lex Luger. He paralyzed. Perry Saturn looked like he about to fold up. And this is what I'm saying. Yeah, and that's you know what I mean. Like, it's not too many people leaving on their own terms, right? And so like I said, AJ, he's just like, nah, man. I just want to hang it up now, man. I'm just hitting 50. Look at Truth. Truth still running around here trying to He's not fighting no more. But look, he just want to be relevant. And that's what I'm saying. They hold on to this stuff too long. When you hold on to it too long, man, you don't want to accept that it's passed you by. You don't want to accept that this ain't your time. This ain't your season. Your reason for being there is what? Go home, be with your family. Go home, be with your loved ones. You know what I mean? People are passing away every day. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Um, you know what I mean? So it's just horrible, you know, that people think that, you know, you think you could do this for a long period of time. Like I said, Bronson Reed, give it Kurt Angle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Look at Kurt, look at this. This is what I'm saying. These bumps and bruises that's happening in this ring. This is real. Like, you can't keep saying that stuff. You know, it's amazing. Oh, it's orchestrated. Okay, it's supposed to be orchestrated. So the damn movie. You go watch it, don't you? So what you talking about? You know what I mean? They sitting there getting tweaked. They getting tweaked out their mind. They over there using the hell out of those Percocets and the regular meds, fiending to stop the pain, stop the pain. You know what I mean? It's not. Listen, man. If you can go on your own term, man, please do so. I don't care what it is, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is. If you working at Walmart, if you can get out of there on time, get out of there on time, man, so you can enjoy it, like enjoy the little bit of life you got, the leisure time and things like that, so you can do what you need to do. Cause this ain't it, man. I'm telling you, man. If you really look at, you see these people doing the tours and things like that. I mean, the best looking guy right now from back in the days, really, to be truthful, is Ron Simmons, Mister Damn himself. You know, he just looks older. Like, all right, you in your 60s. Hey, it's understandable. You know what I mean? Right, and that's what I'm saying because he's like, I'm not gonna keep taking these bumps and bruises. You see what I'm saying? You, they're taking the bumps and bruises, and like I said, he's going to make movies. He's still, you know, I think he's still got the Peacemaker show out there, but he's doing it under 50, right? If you come in early, that's what Randy Orton's supposed to have been doing. Randy Orton, you've been doing this since 19. I forgot. I don't think I even mentioned him, but you've been doing this for a while. You've been there just around, yeah. You've been there around 25 years too. I think you was there before Cena because you was part of Evolution. So you gotta listen, man. But I don't know, man. I can't speak for him. I see you don't realize. But look at this fool. He said Booker T look like somebody open selling $10 nickel. But that's what I'm saying. The way these people they stayed there too long. Booker T was. That's what I'm saying. All of these guys, JBL, he just standing there talking. On end, it's like there's still guys that still think they got it. Yeah, listen. Shout out to Trick Williams. Trick Williams made an appearance on First Take today, and you know he's talking about his little how he got the lemon pepper steppers. He's saluting his uncle and stuff like that. He's talking about his lady, Lash Legend. You know, but that's what I'm saying. In totality, the WWE is doing the things that they need to do to make themselves relevant. You know what I mean? They got they putting the stars on there. They had Cody Rhodes up there. They had Roman Reigns up there. They had Paul Heyman. Like they keep themselves relevant. When you get to this point of success, man, and you on a worldwide leader, you're gonna have to do some things. You know what I mean? So, but the fact that they had Trick Williams up there because he made it to the championship. I mean, excuse me, the Elimination Chamber. You know, it's a big plus for him. It just goes to show, you know, he's a rising star in the WWE. So, you know, it's just crazy. Um, yeah, and you see, but you see the underhand. Listen, it's a business, but you know, there's always going to be grimy people in the business, right? And that's what Roman was saying the other day. He just don't want to say Roman's name. Seth Rollins because because Roman wasn't even supposed to be part of the Shield. So that's why Roman like that. he could sell that promo because he really like, yo, you didn't even want me here. But guess what? When they called your punk ass back, who you think they asked first? Me. I'll let you back here. I told Paul Heyman, I'm gonna take it easy on you. You know what I'm saying? And that was real because, like Roman said, you talking about you the best in the world, but you dipped out of here for 10 years. You you thought you could do something in MMA, you out. You thought you could do something in AEW, they chased you out. Now you back here. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy because you coming back now, like you coming back because I saved this. That's how Roman's supposed to view it because in all reality, he did. Nobody was really watching this. Nobody was watching WWE before the pandemic. Like y'all don't even remember. Like people don't even remember what happened in 2019. You can't. People couldn't tell me who the champ is. You see what I'm saying? They don't know. They probably like, okay, that's probably when Kofi Kingston lost the belt before Brock, and then Roman and around turning to get the belt. But y'all, like y'all don't remember the shit because it wasn't relevant at that time. But I'm telling you, that pandemic made everybody sit home. It made everybody watch. You see Roman Reigns, he beating on his cousin Jey Uso or Jimmy Uso for Jay or whatever, however it went. And then you saw a story building right in front of your eyes. And then once you saw that story gravitate, elevate, like damn, this is all right. This is what I can get with this, and we got with it. You know what I'm saying? We watched how the Usos became tag champs. We saw how Roman had both belts. We saw those 1,300 and some odd days of Roman being a champ. We saw when Jay got tired and left the Bloodline. We saw him bringing like we saw all that. Why? Because he kept that company going because they was fizzling and it wasn't even about competition. It was just a dying thing. You know what I mean? So you gotta understand, when you make a thing, you make a thing. And that's what Roman did. So Punk sitting there talking about he's the best in the world. How? You know what I mean? But that's another story for another day. We gonna let CM Punk, if he can get through the elimination chamber with Finn Balor, and he can face Roman Reigns at Mania. That's what's going to happen. If that's what it is, that's what it is. We'll see. We'll see who's the best then. We'll I don't know if Paul Heyman's going to be in a corner. He might. We don't know what's going to happen. I'm not even. It's too early to judge because who knows? Steph Rollins might come in and want the curve storm both of them and say this shit is nothing. Who knows? You know what I mean? But it's just the fact that it's a lot. You know what I mean? When you sit down and watch this stuff, it's a lot. But yeah. So when you, like I said, when you really sit there and think about it, you can say, all right, well, this one's going to do this one's going to do that. Nah, you got to watch the whole entire show. You know what I mean? So that's what's going to happen. So after tonight, we found out who the participants are going to be. Uh, wait, where the hell are the people at? That's crazy. We know that Jay just won. We know Randy Orton's there. We know LA Knight is there. Um, Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Javon Evans, Trick Williams, and now Jay is the six men. And for the women, you got Kiana James, uh, Rhea Ripley, Oscar, Miss Bliss, Tippy Time, one, two, three, four, five. And who just won tonight? Raquel Rodriguez. So those are the six women and six men that's going to participate. Then we know that Becky and AJ is gonna fight for the women's championship. Yeah, damn, Willis, you've been watching for a long time. Sunday Night Heat. that, was, that was a while ago. We had Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, Sunday night, Thursday night. That was you've been watching Sunday Night Heat. But yeah, it's gonna be this Saturday, and like I said, we'll do that. We'll do the predictions on that Friday night. Um, but yeah, it like I said, man, it was just the highs and the low of a night tonight because you get to celebrate AJ. You get to spend it with his family and the fans and friends. He's in Atlanta. They was in Atlanta. He's from Gainesville, Georgia. So he's like, all right, I'm home. Did you see what happened in the first match? Bronson Reed just tears arm off. So what are they going to do with the Vision? I forgot what you said, Word. I saw something about the Vision. Hold on, let me go back up here. Ric Flair tried to die in that ring, though. What did he say? He said the Vision something. That's crazy. The Vision became a nightmare every time someone stepped into the spot. They get hurt. That's why I said, listen, man, the vision is blind. I mean, like they blind as bat because they can't see. They ain't an or look. That means Paul ain't even an oracle. He just out there. He just gonna run with the winner. That's what he did tonight when he came out with Brock. Same old nonsense. Yeah, listen, man. That's what I'm saying. When you've been watching this thing for a long time, you can remember those things, man. Sunday Night Heat. Oh, we're going right over to SummerSlam. Like, damn, SummerSlam Sunday? Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's go. They do a little pre show and then they go straight to the pay per view. You watch the pay per view. Then you turn back Monday. They talk about what happened yesterday. So, oh, which one? Austin Theory or Logan Paul? Almost is it Logan Paul? Jake Paul? One of them dudes, the YouTuber, the content creator. But like I said, it's a lot when you sit back and think about all of this time that you got to watch these shows and you get to reminisce. Like, damn, man, I remember when John Cena came out with the tight ass shorts and he would slap Kurt Angle in the face, and I remember when Booker T finally sat his ass down after getting beat up by Stone Cold in the grocery store. Things like that. You can remember all the way back then. I remember John Cena held it down when it was like really, really quiet. He fighting CM Punk in the Nexus, and then The Rock come back. He fights The Rock, making it relevant. And then we see the Shield and Roman Reigns come up. We see Braun uh, Brock Lesnar sitting there holding it down for a while till Roman gets himself together and takes over. We see Dean Ambrose fighting for the Intercontinental belt. We see Seth being a champion, dealing with the Authority. All of this stuff, you get to remember all that because you've been watching it so long, and it's been great shows and entertainment. And that's what keeps us coming back because we get to sit there and we get to watch that. Damn, I remember this 20 years ago. I might have been in high school. I might have been going to college. I might have just been going to high school to start high school. Some of the people that's still watching this back at 2000. Yeah, the DX, you running around at 90, 95, 96, 97. You talk about you got two words for you. You exit them. That's what I'm saying. Like that was influential stuff, man. You remember when DX going chase down WCW? They outside the gate. They like, yo, open the gate. We coming in. We coming to take this. And they like, wow. God, yeah, Godfather Little man. He tried to get Undertaker to break character so bad, man. Undertaker looking like, yo, I can't stand this dude, man. You know, like people don't even remember that Godfather. Godfather was Papa Shango, and this is what I'm saying. When you go back, that's how far I go back. You remember Godfather. You remember him in the Nation of Domination. But he's Papa Shango. He the one that ran out there and whooped on Hulk Hogan with Sid Vicious. You see what I'm saying? That's how long you've been watching this stuff. Why? Because people keep saying this is not entertaining, and it is. Excuse me. You know what I mean? It's just a way. It's just a way that how long you've been watching it. And like I said, there was time where it fell off, and people stopped watching for a while. Like I said, people may not remember Edge being world champion. They may not remember when Rey Mysterio won the belt. They may not remember when Batista was holding it down and Bobby Lashley was a champion. They may not remember none of that stuff, but they're going to remember that bloodline story. They're going to remember all of this that's happening. They're going to remember when Brock, he came back and lost to Roman Reigns. They're going to remember when John Cena retired. They're going to remember the night when AJ, retired officially, even though they pushing it. Well, Gunther did a good job being the villain. Doink the Clown. You know how long ago Doink the Clown was? Doink the Clown. Wow. That's so sad. You remember the doinks. You remember when Kane was Dr. Yankum, the dentist. This is what I'm saying. I could go that far back with y'all. I really can. But the fact of the matter is, man, because I grew up on this. My grandmother from down south, like, yo, we gotta go watch wrestling. We gonna go to the garden and watch wrestling. You know what I mean? And he's like, okay, come on, we gonna go. And we go watch that. We see Andre the Giant slamming Big John stuff for $15,000. Andre pulled the money out the bag. Big John Studd robbed his ass. Like, give me this bag and dips on Andre the Giant. I remember all this stuff. That's what I'm saying. I've been watching that long. I can go back to WrestleMania. Damn, I'm telling myself I can go back to WrestleMania 1. I can remember that Muhammad Ali. He ain't, he was still in great shape being a referee. All right, cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's one. That's how it started. All this stuff started off of that one show in the garden 40 years ago. And now we sitting here, we talking about Elimination Chamber. We see the young kids. Listen, what we all seeing, we seen a little bit more diversity. It's a whole lot more women than it was back then. They still had the fabulous Moolah wrestling. She was like 65. Still y'all going with this. But they elevated, they evolved, they understand that the progress and the process must go on. And now we all the way up here, we looking at CM Punk. We asking the CM Punk gonna be able to retain the belt. He got his wife over there. She gonna win the Intercontinental belt. You got Becky Lynch, who's married to Seth Rollins. They was running with belts together not too long before all of this stuff happened with Seth being injured. You see what I'm saying? Now they didn't get to do it for who knows. They might do this with Trick and Lash if they get themselves going. Kiana Jordan and Mello, because Mello can't miss. They got a thing going. You see what I'm saying? We get to see, we can possibly see that coming up in the very near future because they bring like Trick said. My lady. She know how to. She treats me right. We get to travel together. We get to do this together. So just imagine if Lash win a belt and Trick win a belt, and they engage. It's like Kalani Jordan and Melo's supposed to be engaged. You see what I'm saying? We ain't even talking about Bianca and Montez. We know Jimmy and Trini is husband and wife. They didn't push that with them, but who knows? They may have to push that with these up and comers now. You know what I mean? Same way. All right. Well, Steph, you can hold the belt, and Becky, you can hold the belt. They ain't do that with Punk and AJ yet, but you know what I mean. It's still the same. Um. So yeah, we have a future to look forward to. Remember how Dudley Boy slammed? Yep. They did her. Yo, And that's what I've said. Who's Miss Parker? Yo, but that's the funny part, really, because I remember Bubba's like, yo, she asked for this. I'm like, she did what? She asked for me to do this? They like, nah. And he said, Vince said, yeah, go ahead, throw her. But that's what I'm telling y'all, man. These people love this sport so much. They love it so much because, like I said, you had Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah. They was still trying to do this till like the end of the '90s. Like y'all tripping. You straight tripping. We just see. Look, I didn't even mention the Dudley Boys just had their final match against the Hardys. That was like a whole '90s event, '90s 2000 event. Like wow, you know what I mean? It's you don't forget things like that. Yeah, Jada Parker's hurt. I don't know if she broke her neck. I know she's hurt, and she's been out of action for a while because I thought she was gonna be in the Rumble, and then once Rock's daughter left, it took away from the whole NXT experience. But then they started pushing the youngers up there, like Soul, like they get ready to push. I think they get ready to push Soul Ruka up there, uh, and a couple other of the girls. This is what I'm saying. So, but I do think I remember she got injured in that situation. Um, yeah, but the future's looking bright. Like I said, we've seen all of these guys coming up. Like I said, like look at the elimination chamber. You got Trick and you got Javon and on the men's side. They just got there and they advancing. We get to see if Jay and Trick could go at it. I mean, I don't think Jay could compete with Javon right now because Jay a little hurt. Let's be honest, Jay's a little hurt. But I Javon being the youngest, I'm just interested to see who's going to do what. Is is he going is Randy going to win this? Like, there's so many questions. Is this the time for LA Knight to go ahead and fight Drew McIntyre? All these questions that's coming up. I don't think if Javon wins. Wow, if Trick wins it, that'll be unbelievable. But that's what the question. And then on the women's side, you got Kiana James, who just got up to the SmackDown roster. She's in the chamber match. So they got 3 of the 12 part. They got a quarter of the participants just getting there. So we get to wait and see what's going on with the ladies and the fellas and the youngins in totality. Um, but we got one more show ahead of this Friday. As a matter of fact, Friday we got I think the tag belt is up for grabs. I'm gonna go ahead and say Lash and them gonna win it. I really believe that. Or maybe I'm hopeful. I'm being hopeful, but I'm going with that pick. They going against Rhea and Io, and I'm going to pick Nia and what you call it. And then Jay going. She gets to go to chamber match Saturday because she's looking for the winner of that. So we'll see how that goes. Now Saturday night, um, we saw Clarissa Shields fight what's her name? Cruz Daroon, whoever it was, and let's just say Clarissa Shield did what she's supposed to do. She. First of all, I ain't never seen a boxing match that goes a whole 10 rounds, right? And the person don't win a round. That was unanimous. I said that myself. I be picking the match. I be like, nah, she ain't winning this match. So she ain't winning this round, this round. I've done that several times, and I'm like, how they even get to this? But this one was a no brainer, right? So Clarissa Shields, she goes to 18-0 after the victory. Uh, the girl Cruz the Rules, she lost to her twice. I thought they were gonna fight at the end, But listening to the conversations, like, yo, we did what we had to do. You know what I mean? We put on the show. That's what the people came for. They saw a match. You know what I mean? And they hugged it out at the end. They were supposed to been cool. Then they started beefing. But my thing is this, man. If there's no competition for you, man. If I get it. You making yourself, you making some bread and stuff like that, man. Don't hype it up. You know what I mean? Don't hype it up like this is the end all be all. First of all, I didn't even know she fought the girl. I didn't know she fought the girl 10 years ago. I did not know that. I'm like, damn. So she gonna go over there? She trying to get back 10 years later? If you could beat her 10 years ago, how the hell you gonna beat her now? You think you Foreman? Rest in peace, George Foreman. But you ain't Foreman. You know what I mean? So she, like I said, she did what she had to do. Congratulations to Clarissa Shield. Now, break it. Well, I don't know. This is breaking news. I don't know if that. Yeah, that's what they were saying too. I don't know if this is breaking news for everybody, but a boxing match has been confirmed tonight. We see Manny Pacquiao will be facing Floyd Mayweather Jr. on September the 2nd. Wasn't that match like 11 years? Was it 11 years ago? Was it 2015, 2014? It did. And that's what I'm. Listen, man. The girl was 28 when she fought her. Now you're 38, and you were slower than molasses. She couldn't even breathe, and I'm like, oh my god, you know, I'm not going to take away from Clarissa Shields. I'm saying Saturday night it it was one sided. It was one sided. She tried to go blow for blow in the first round. The girl threw herself out. She couldn't regain herself in the first round. And I'm like, yo, you can't keep doing this and keep going. And sure enough, she tried to go blow for blow with her, and it didn't work for her. So it's just crazy. So you know, but Mayweather Pacquiao Part Two is going to be just September 2nd. Why did they wait so long to do a rematch? I don't know, but it just goes to show you. Well, if she's a beast, mm, I don't know what to say about that one. I don't know, because if she was a beast, she wasn't beasting last night. She wasn't beasting last night at all. Wait, what? Oh my god. See, this is all right. I'm gonna get to that in a second. Um, yeah. So yeah, because she was what 12 and no, she was 12-2 with two knockouts, something like that. So but she was like I don't even know what division was this. I think she went up. Did she go up? I'm not sure. But you know, I just listen, man. I just think Clarissa needs to put somebody that's more of her speed, more of her level. And then when she punishes her, there's nothing else for nobody to talk about. I don't know who it is in this time. I'm not going to hold nobody. You know what I mean? But if she, I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But she's also a defensive fighter. So I understand her greatness. But the challenge for her is to see who's going to fight her, who's going to really deal with this, who's going to really get in the ring with her, right? And that's her challenge. Then it's time to shut it down. But this is not cool. This not cool. But I get it. This is her bread. This is her bread and water. This is a money making scheme. This is a money making deal. So I'm not upset with it, but I can't be excited about it if there's no one to challenge. Like when you see Bud Crawford, you listen, whatever. He fought everybody. He fought whoever wanted to fight him. You had people literally ducking him. Like literally, like I ain't doing that. That dude that's getting ready to come back, why he ain't come back and fight him? Wouldn't that be a better money match? Wouldn't Floyd and Crawford be a better money match than somebody that's damn near 50 years old? But because he's not going to fight him, hey, that's the result. You see what I'm saying? It's not the same. I'm just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Then me personally, I can't say it's going to be competitive fights. Is what I'm saying. I get it. That's what I'm saying. She getting up red. But I can't be excited because I already know there's no competition for her. If there's no competition for her, then you know what I mean. It's time. Well, how old is Pacquiao? So Pacquiao's damn near 60. Pacquiao's old. Oh, they both the same age. Or he 50. How old is Pacquiao? I don't even know, but this guy though. Now, look, 55. Come on, man. 55. So you okay? I guess. Yo, I don't know what the hell's going on in Minnesota. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota, right? So we know over the weekend, the kid Rondell Moore from the Minnesota Vikings, he passed away, right? Some I think the reports are saying he had a self inflicted gunshot wound. Um, Now they saying a former defensive back named Roniel Whitaker, he passed away at the age of 46. So it's I don't know what his death is, right? Um, yeah, and that and the kid, matter of fact, the Rondell Moore kid just played this season for the Vikings. So you know, this is the time where you can tell when people rock with you because they rock with you, and they don't when they don't. Because I get it. It's a lot of pressure on a young man, and we know a lot of people is not able to be responsible for holding things down and stuff like that. But if you rocking with a person for the right reason, man, you're supposed to be checking up on these people, man. Right? I get it, man. I get it. The strong ones don't want to tell you that they're hurting. I understand all of that. I do. I promise you, I do. Oh, Floyd 48. Okay. Um, but yet at the same time, man, you still gotta say, yo, I'm checking up regardless. Listen, I do this all the time, right? When my co-host, my 33 brother he ain't active, I will hit his ass up. Like, yo, you good? What's happening? You alright? Like, yeah, man, I'm good. And even if he don't respond in 3 or 4 days, like, oh man, I ain't get to see it. I ain't, me. I just need to know that you're all right, man. If you ain't all right, man, we gonna talk about it. What's happening? What's going on? You know what I mean? Whatever it is, we can talk about it, right? That's because you genuinely care for somebody, man. A lot of the time, man, we just like people for what they do for us or what they can do for us instead of just rocking with the person because that individual is that cool, that dope individual, man. And the fact that this young man, it's reported he took himself out. That's listen. I don't know what to say behind that. I don't know how many more times you could continuously say, yo, you know, be strong and reach out to people, and because it has to be a two-way street. If it's not a two-way street, then you know what I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Right? If I constantly reach out to somebody and they don't respond, listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I ain't gonna lose no fucking sleep. Because if I'm doing everything possible to check up on you and you don't respond, that's not on me. That's on the individual, right? It doesn't mean I don't love the individual. I'm just checking up on you. You feel away because I'm checking up on you, right? But I don't know what this young man's story was. The fact that he's not here anymore, and the fact that it was reported, this is self-inflicted. That bothers me. It bothers me because it's so many people in your ear cheering you on. It's so many people with their hand out when you make it to the big leagues. It's so many people there, but where's that strong person say, yo, you bugging right now, man. Just imagine if Antonio Brown had somebody say like, yo, you straight tripping. He might have still been playing for the past few years. He might be still he might be relevant on the football field instead of all of this cockamamie stuff that he's been on the news for. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We know about the Stephon Diggs story. Somebody got to say like, yo, y'all tripping. Y'all wilding right now. We need to stay focused on this football thing. We need to stay focused on getting this bread, right? And meanwhile, his brother's being cut all over the place. You know what I mean? Um, damn, what? I'm gonna get to that comment in a minute, but yeah, like it's just crazy, man, that people only see what they can get from you instead of how they can help you, man, and I don't know, like it's a family mourning right now. It's two family mourning, right? And they just happen to be from the, you know, one was a former player of the Vikings, and one was a current player of the Vikings. But no, we gotta listen, man. We gotta do better. We have to do better. I don't care what it is, right? I got Instagram. If I see somebody like, I promise you, somebody on Instagram could say, yo, he hit me up at least one time before. Now, if I didn't respond, I didn't respond. Meaning, whoever I was checking up on, if they didn't respond, they didn't respond. Right? We know people get in their feelings and they block people and do all that other stuff. That's cool too, right? I can't do nothing about that either. But at the end of the day, we need to be checking up on each other. I check up on people. No disrespect to my peoples, but they ain't millionaires. But I know they be solid and they be rocking for other people. So yo, you good? Because sometimes you need to let that go. A therapist has a therapist. So why not a strong person not looking for, a shoulder to lean on? You can't be strong all your life. You can't be the rock all your life. Something gonna chip and try to make you break it down some way, shape, or form. So we have to understand, man. There's people out there they status as far as financial may be better than a lot of us, but at the same time we could be equal as far as being there for the individual. Yo, here, take this shoulder, take this ear, talk to it, let it out, whatever it is, right? We don't all have to hold everything in. We know that pressure bust pipe. We know that lack of movement, stress and frustration. We know what that can do. Right. Oh yeah, and that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you feel like you had to fight, if people feel like they had to fight, they've been fighting all their life. Whatever it is, they've been fighting they themselves. They've been fighting their demons. They've been fighting the things that tell them like, yo, you ain't worth it. Just take your, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of crazy conscious thoughts that's be going on, man. People thinking they're hearing words. It's a conscious, whether it's the good conscious or the bad conscious side. You sitting there, you listen to it like, yo, man, it's a wrap, right? We were just talking about wrestling. Now, if people were seeing the signs from Benoit all of those years ago, you know what I'm saying? Who was there? That, you know what I'm saying? Who would have been there? I know Chavo Guerrero said he called me when he did it. If he called you when he did it, that means he was talking to you like, hey, he was probably telling you, you know, we on the road together, so I'm probably telling you some stuff. But because you missed the signs, because you know what I mean, you got your own thing going. You don't know who's calling, who's crying for help. You don't know who's calling for help. You gotta be attentive to what's going on around you. You just can't just say, well, he all right, she's all right. No, you gotta go on in. Listen, man. I don't care. If you stop talking to if somebody stopped talking to me because I care too much, I did my job. I'm sorry. I don't care. That might sound crazy, but I'm just saying, man, you don't have to do this all by yourself. You can ask for the help. You can ask for the assistance. You can come through and do the things that you need to do to show, like, yo, you're not doing this by yourself. And I get it. For most men, it's different because we ain't supposed to let ourselves be vulnerable. We ain't supposed to, we ain't supposed to be on that type of time. Man, that time could keep my clock ticking. If I was stressed out, I'll hit word like, yo, man, let me holler at you real quick. I be asking word questions all the time. It might be, it ain't nothing like, should I do something crazy? But I ask him questions just because I know he gonna be open and honest with me. He gonna be sincere, like, yo, all right, this is what we could look at. This is how we can approach this. This is how do you think you should approach this? Right? Let me answer my own questions so whatever my decision is, it's mine. You see what I'm saying? And that's what we're supposed to be doing for those people that's up there in the NFL, in the NBA, in Major League Baseball. That's what they need around them. They don't need yes people. They need responsible people. They need responsible people that's going to hold you accountable because you have to be responsible in order to be accountable in the first place. They're going to hold you to yours. And if they rocking with you like that, they love you like that, they're going to have you, they're going to stand 10 toes down on what they're supposed to do for you, with you. And if you're doing the wrong shit, against you. It just hurts my heart. The boy wasn't even 20. I don't think he was 25. 25, and you just got there. You more known for what you did against Ohio State a couple of years ago than anything that you did on the field in the NFL. You know what I mean? You don't want to sit there and count the man's pockets, hopefully the NIL, whatever. Like, you don't want to do all of that. Yet that question's gonna come to mind. Like, damn, he didn't even get there to get the second contract, the third contract, whatever. He ain't get to put his family in position. They ain't ready. They ain't straight. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's man. Look, man, fellas, it's okay to pour out those problems. Because if you keep that in there, you trying to pour something new in there, that's going to contaminate the momentum. That's going to contaminate anything you put in you. Let it out. Talk to somebody. I don't care. You got to talk to a therapist. I don't care who it is. Talk to a professional. Let it go. Let it out. Because as long as you hold it in there, man, it's festering. It's going to do something to your mind, body, and soul. That's not what life is about. We understand that pressures and situations are going to come about. We understand that things it's going to make you feel responsible. It's going to make you think about some things. I get that too. But don't be afraid to have that yo, man, listen, man, I had a lot on my mind, man. I just needed to holler at somebody, man. Let it go, let it out. Don't be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to I'd rather my situation be weaponized against me than it weaponizing in me. Because if it weaponizes in me, you might not see me no more if that's the case. You see what I'm saying? And that's my thing. It be like that, and it's hard, and that's what I'm saying. We gotta break the curse of holding everything in. You know what I mean? So to the family of those uh, two former players, man. We send our condolences. We like it's just crazy. And like I said, this was the kid. What's his kid name? Whitaker. This is the day after um Rondell Moore dies. So that happened yesterday or today? Yesterday. So the Rondell Moore situation happened Saturday. See what I'm saying? It it's hard, man. And this is what I'm saying, like on some real stuff, right? On this channel, we always say that there's always a case that sports will touch into our everyday life. This is one of those times that I hate the fact that that's true, because at the end of the day, man, we all have situations. We all are trying to be a provider, or be the responsible person in our family, right? However it is, whether you going to work, whether you working from home, whatever it is, you trying to do the right things in life. And sometimes life has a tendency of kicking our ass. It do, right? And I know a lot of the times that I say, winners don't quit and quitters don't win. Sometimes the agony of defeat is on your mind so much I can't hold it. I can't hold it. There's people out there losing their homes. There's people out there losing their cars. There's people out there losing their damn minds because life is lifing. And this is why I love this channel, because even when we talk about the good things, sometimes reality hits and we just y'all need to talk. I'm here. Y'all need to, hey, let's, like I said, we was talking about wrestling. We just went down memory lane for a good 45 minutes. Talk about what happened in the early days. What happened when we first saw Cena? What happened when we saw Doink the Clown? Remember Doink the Clown? That little goofball. We just went down this stuff. Why? Because we know those days were good. We stopped thinking about what's going on today. We just remember all the good times of yesterday. Man, I remember when Yokozuna beat Bret Hart, and then Hulk Hogan beat Yokozuna. Right? Like we go down those lanes because we could remember that. Oh, excuse me, the Pacquiao fight is not September 2nd. They just changed it to the 19th. So Pacquiao Mayweather Jr. is September 19th. So uh yeah, so this is why I tell y'all, you know, in order for us to become, in order for a better you to be a better us, we have to be around each other enough to where, hey, we can sit down and have this conversation. We could sit there and say, you know what, this was bothering me, that was bothering me. Let me get back to what Word said earlier, because he's talking about something. I was just talking to the plumber about that last night. What'd you say? The main drain was clogged. I had to pay 500 just to flush the toilet. Wow. And and that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes, we doing things to make ends meet, and make sure our family's in order. And sometimes, man, that pressure can get to you. You know what I mean? Like, dang, you know what I mean? I don't know what else to do. My people's my aunt just called me not too long ago. Say, nephew, my water pipe bust. We looking at 5 figures. I'm like, what's 5 figures? She's like, 15. I'm like, 15 what? For what? She's like, yeah, I had to stop it. Otherwise, I can't get the water in my house. I can't even go to the bed. Like, life be life, man. So a lot of the times we gotta be there for them strong. We gotta be there for those strong people, man. We gotta be there for those, not because they're old, not because they're young. We gotta be there because they need to know that there's people on their side that's really for them and not just using them. Like for real, that's crazy, man. I don't know. I don't know if I can turn to anybody. So let me sit here and sit in my own shit. I mean, you supposed like in all reality, you put yourself there. We get that, but when somebody cares about you, they're not going to allow you to sit there and go through that in these cold seasons and drink. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like this harsh winter. You know what I mean? Now now New York and the tri-state area, they going through 20 something inches of snow. I get it. they ain't used to it, right? We ain't used to that. We ain't have those lakefront snowstorms like Buffalo and Chicago and those type of people. You know what I'm saying? I get all of that, but at the same time, man, like yo, you gotta listen, man. If I need help, I'm gonna lean on you. If I need help, I'm a ask. Yeah, sometimes I don't even want to ask. I just need to talk about it so that way I can hear myself and maybe me talking to you can make me come up with my own solution. You don't like the best thing that's free is your time for listening to a person. You know what? I was there for you. You know what I mean? It's not the throwing back in their face, but I'm glad everything worked out for you, right? Like Word just said he had to pay. He had to do that for that. Listen, man. I'm just glad you were able to use the bathroom, man, and your drain ain't. You know what I mean? It's up to par. You see what I'm saying? There's people out there that can't even go to the bathroom. There's people out there that there's people in New York right now with no electricity because of this storm. They sitting in the dark and it's cold. Go ahead and say, yo, cuz I come on through. You can stay here for a couple of days. I don't know how we gonna sleep. We all gonna sleep on the floor, whatever. Man, what is it? They say pride goes before the fall. It's ego goes before. Better lose that ego before you fall on your face. You know what I mean? But the fact that people feel like they can't turn to nobody. Like I said, that young man was 25. And for you to go to that measure, you don't want to talk to nobody. You feel like nobody's gonna understand you. Who knows? It might have been possible. It could have been like, man, I don't think nobody loved me to hear what I'm going through. And that's not something that we should be going through as an individual, as well as a group of people. I don't care about the race. I don't care about the gender. I don't care none of that. Right? There's people losing their minds over certain things in life. They losing it because they feel like I ain't got nobody else to turn to. I ain't got nobody to talk to. I don't even want nobody to know my bit. Like, nah, man. Like I said, man, I don't know about y'all, but I love to live. I love the stuff that I'm doing now. I'm sitting here talking to the people that's here. I'm sitting there talking to people that's going to hear the replay, the background, whatever you want to call it. Right? Who knows? Maybe those people in New York that that's going through what they're going through right now. They could be listening right now and say, you know what? He makes sense, but he sounds crazy, but he makes sense. Wait a minute, they talk about wrestling still? Oh my God, I didn't know that. But then I'm giving them a time not to think about them sitting in the dark, right? Or they ain't got no heat, or they ain't got no water. They just sitting there listening to somebody ramble about something. That's cool. Anything that it don't cost me nothing, but yet at the same time, it's costing you not to think about what you going through. We can sit there and talk this stuff. This is why I love this channel, because at the end of the day, there may be somebody going through something like, yo, damn, I could really think about this. That's why we keep talking. That's why we keep pushing about that fantasy league. Because man, we can sit there and damn, I need to worry about if I'm gonna start this guy or not. You know what I'm saying? Going back to that. But we are not here to make people feel alone. No man is an island. But sometimes we put ourselves on the island and just avoid all entrance, avoid anybody from allowing anybody to enter because we think that my problem is my problem. I understand that. But if your problem can be resolved in the right way, we should be working on that. But because you don't want to talk about it, hey, that's what happens. So I get it. But I'm just saying that once again, you don't have to do this by yourself. You don't have to go through this by yourself. Like I said, maybe what we're talking about may get you an answer that you need to go forward. I don't know. Let's give it a shot though. You don't have to go through this by yourself. So, like I said, when I heard that story, I thought about yesterday doing it, but I'm like, then I got involved with the fight and then I got prepared. I'm getting everything prepared just in case, people gonna need things as they lights go out and stuff like that up top. And I'm like, nah. By the time I stopped checking in on everybody, it was dead on there at 3 o'clock. I'm like, I'm straight. I ain't gonna do it. You know what I mean? Because I really was gonna come on here yesterday talk about the Clarissa Shield fight. But I'm like, nope, I ain't gonna do that because at the end of the day, we gotta Saturday, excuse me. No, see, the fight was last night. Like, nah, I'm straight. I was supposed to did basketball recap yesterday. I'm like, nah, because of the weather, I'm not even gonna do it. I'm worried about making sure the families are right. They need, whatever they need. I'm here for them, this, that, and the third. Maybe, I care. I care about people like that. So I don't get upset about that. You know what I mean? I care about the people that tune in. But at the end of the day, and in the off the live area, life is life, and you know what I mean. Hey, we ain't got no heat. It's 10 degrees. Can you? I say less. I'm gonna bring you a generator, or whatever. You know what I mean? If that's what it takes, or y'all come over to the house and y'all sit in here for a while. You want to go back in the daytime, fine. But whatever I can do, I'm gonna do my best to do it because love is a responsibility. And when you don't love nothing, you ain't gonna be accountable for shit because you ain't responsible enough to love yourself. So that's another thing that we gotta worry about. But that's a busted down segment. You know what I mean? But once again, our condolences go to the two players. Um, it's just sad to hear that. You know what I mean? But in the meantime, I don't even. So we got Friday SmackDown coming up this week. Like I said, we got the Women's Tag Team Championship up for grabs. There's no more Elimination Chamber qualifications as we know all 6 participants, but more than likely we'll probably see some of them come at it on Friday as we head towards that match Saturday. So you might see Randy Orton. Well, Randy Orton's probably looking for Drew McIntyre. He trying to get his get back from what happened last Friday when he lost to Aleister Black. I still don't know how that was a main event, but I digress. You know what I mean? We know Cody looking for him. We know the 3 SmackDown partners. Excuse me, it's gonna be available. Once again, congratulations to Trick Williams. Congratulations to Randy Orton. Um, Congratulations to Cody Rhodes. But they better keep their heads on the swivel because we know Drew's a maniac. He tried not to miss. You know what I'm saying? We may see, well, now that Melo's not going to be in a chamber match, we might see a U.S. title match. We know about the women's tag match. So, we're going to see what's going on with that Friday. And that's all going to lead to Saturday night. Now, I don't know if people know if they can get the PLE on ESPN. I don't even know what cable companies is already got it or not. Some people said if you already got the ESPN app, excuse me, you already got it. I ain't got it, but I'm shout out to VPNs. we gonna find it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I want to do that so that way Monday night I can be prepared. We'll probably go over that. We may go over that Sunday night uh, on basketball recap and lead right into Monday. But we still have Friday night SmackDown. Um, any news and information that we got, it will be brought to you before then. I mean, we had a light night in basketball in all totality. Uh, we got 3 games. Uh, we had the Pistons hosting the Spurs. The Spurs got 114 and 103 win. We got the Kings at the Grizzlies. Sacramento with a 123 to 14 win. And we had the Rockets hosting the Utah Jazz, and the Rockets won 125 to 105. Those are the 3 games that we had. Um, and scores as always is brought to you by the 9%, where a better you is a better us. You know, with that being said, my apologies if I sound somber after just having that conversation about you know Mr. Moore. God bless his dad. Once again, condolences to his family and the Whitaker family. But we'll be definitely back on Friday night, like I said. Shout out to Realist, shout out to Word, shout out to anybody that was in the background in the cuts. Uh, so from the Channel 9 studio, this is Mr. 33 signing off. I don't know. Well, he can't be live. I don't think he is live. If he was, I ain't getting no what you call it. But until Friday, guys, I'm signing off from the Channel 9 studio rather. That being said, I appreciate everybody being here. I'm out.